Hello you beautiful people and welcome to today's video. I'm so happy you're joining me for another speed paint today. And let me put away my stuff I still had on my lap and move my chair comfortably. So yeah, today you're gonna watch me paint with acrylic gouache or acrylic gouache or whatever any brand will call it. A while ago, my buddy Dani, thank you very much Dani, decluttered her art supplies and she sent me her acrylic gouache from Turner, and yeah, I'm currently getting into the flow of that, and I have had a lot of canvases lying around that my mother gave to me because they were on sale somewhere, and I too had these two black canvases. One is already painted and the other one I'm painting in this video. And I found them really cool, so I grabbed those because I knew that the acrylic gouache is very opaque, so I would have no problem painting on a black surface with them. And I taped off the edges of the canvas, so it would be like a little frame in the end with washi tape that I peel off in the end of the video. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I just had the idea of this landscape, and I did a little thumbnail in my sketchbook beforehand, and then I sketched it on the canvas again, and then I blocked out the areas of colors in the beginning, and then I tried to build up different color layers with more details, and I worked from dark to brighter colors, and yeah, that's what I did. I just this bunny is kind of random. I just had the idea of drawing this bunny, reading his or her book, just leaning against a tree trunk, and yeah, I really enjoy painting clouds. If you cannot tell, it's a pleasure. As I mentioned in previous videos, I always thought that painting was not really my thing, that I was more of a drawing kind of person, that I only could use like pen and like transparent mediums, and but I recently, since I'm more at home, I really got into painting, and it's so relaxing and kind of therapeutic in a way to just yeah, smear around color on a surface. Also, what I really enjoy about gouache is that it dries kind of quickly, and that it has this matte finish. And oh, I should maybe specify what really is acrylic gouache. Acrylic gouache, in case you don't know. There are a few brands. The most famous one is probably Holbein. Holbein is a Japanese brand as well as Turner's, I think. And they both make really good acrylic gouache. And I do have the CMYK set from Holbein, the acrylic gouache, but I never wanted to use it because I only had these 4 tubes, and I was scared to use them up, and because it's a hassle to get hold of them where I live, which is in Germany, and I haven't found any store that carries those tubes open stock, so I always have to order them somewhere, and Jackson's is an option, but since they are located in the UK, it's not that easy because of the current situation, and also tax things and stuff. The shipping will go up, I think. But they do send to Germany, but only from like until 20 euros, I think, because they can't send big packages, I think. Or was it the other way around? I don't know. I don't want to spread false information, but I'm gonna wait to order from Jackson's until the current situation has gone better, I think, if I do. So it was very lucky that my friend did not want her acrylic gouache anymore, so she sent it to me, and I'm very, very grateful. So I could try out all these beautiful paints. Yeah, so I wanted to specify what acrylic gouache is. It's basically a hybrid between acrylic paint and gouache, as the name suggests, and it has properties of both. So it does dry quickly, like acrylic paints, and it does get waterproof when it is dry, so it is not rewettable, not water soluble after it is completely dry. And it does not dry shiny like acrylic paint. It does dry matte like gouache does. So it has these properties of both, but without the problem that if you go over a dry layer of normal gouache with wet paint, it may reactivate. Depending on the brand you're using, it may reactivate quickly and easily, so maybe that's not what you want. So this is a good option. I do believe that I maybe am going to dive a bit more into acrylic paints when I have used up these acrylic gouache paints, because I really like the properties that the acrylic side of the gouache has, which is that it's waterproof in the end and that it dries very quickly, so I can do layers more quickly, which is very nice. Maybe I'm going to get a small set of acrylic paint one day, and I'm going to try that out. But I'm saving up for other things right now, so that's not on my priority list. Plus I have so many nice acrylic gouache paints now that I'm going to use. Yeah, it's really a lot of fun to use these. I'm very happy that I can prove myself wrong in the sense of that I always thought I was not suitable for painting, but painting is a lot of fun. You just have to have a lot of more patience, and you have to plan a little bit what you're doing, what you're going to do, because I guess you can work from light to dark as well if you like, but the common thing people do is working from dark to bright, so dark to light colors, and that's kind of the other way around with watercolors, because watercolors are not that opaque that you could do that, most of them. And I kind of have to change the way I think and the way I plan while I do my paintings. I was not used to that, but it was a lot of fun to discover. And also it is so satisfying when you have really opaque paints and you just make this streak with your brush over a very dark area, and then you just have this light color, and its highlights are very satisfying to paint. I really enjoy that. And yeah, so I did not really notice. I have to specify I'm a noob. I don't know anything about anything, but I did not really notice the difference between the two brands, except that Holbein seemed to be a bit more intense in color, a tiny bit more. I don't know if that's due to how long the paint tubes have to be open or have to be started. Holbein is a bit more liquidy. But I don't want to settle on that because I don't know. As I mentioned, these tubes were used. They were perfectly fine to use. I'm not complaining or anything. I just want to mention that maybe New Turner's gouache, acrylic gouache, is as liquidy as the Holbein ones. I'm not entirely sure. That's just the little difference I noticed, but you can definitely mix them. Like, you can definitely use both brands. If you have tubes from both brands, you can use them together. That was a thing that one of my friends asked me, like, can you mix those paints or do they work together? And as far as I have noticed already, they work like perfectly fine, perfectly okay. And yeah, I can only recommend using those together. If you have like both brands, you don't have to use them separately. It's perfectly okay. Another thing I recently learned is that there is, in a lot of gouache sets, not only acrylic gouache, there is a mixing white and there is a more opaque white. Like, the mixing white is to lighten colors as far as I know, and it's a bit more transparent. And the other white, it's both the same pigment, but one is a bit more opaque and the other one is a bit more transparent. Yeah, it's a bit tricky sometimes to, if you don't know what you're doing like I am. But yeah, it's totally fine. Like, I'm not sure. I think they are for different kinds of techniques. Like, if you want to have a paint that should be a bit more lighter than you have it right now, and you want it to stay a bit more transparent so that your background does not entirely get covered with that white pigment, you're using the mixing white. I think that's how it works. And the other one is, if you want to cover up the little space down beneath, you use the normal white. That's how I think it is. If you have any tips or suggestions, please drop me a comment down below. If you have anything you want to mention, like, I'm very thankful for advice. And because I'm very, very new to this medium, and maybe you notice I'm doing something completely wrong, so please let me know. Yeah, I just want to say I'm really happy to be painting so much. Also, I'm really, really proud how the clouds turned out. I think the clouds are my favorite thing about this painting, even though the bunny looks very adorable, but I really enjoyed like painting the clouds, mainly because I could use so many pastel colors, I think, because I'm a real big fan of pastel paints. And I got a lot of convenience mixes from my buddy, like these very, very pretty pink and the very light turquoise. I'm in love with those. And for the sky, I did a part of the sky that's a bit lighter, if you notice, and that's, I watered down the turquoise, and I then painted over the blue of the sky. And because it's acrylic gouache, it did not re-wet and it did not reactivate, and I used the texture of the canvas to make it a bit more textured and give it a bit more life, if that makes, I think that makes sense if I say it like that. Give it a bit more something that the eye can look at, and it's not only a flat blue surface. I think that's nice. I also really enjoyed painting every other thing, but the clouds, man, the clouds really, the clouds are fine. I I was not sure for this week what I wanted to paint, but I first was thinking that I wanted to do another character spotlight, like I did with the one with Megan last week. But I just was in the mood for painting, so I painted this random thing, and I think that's also fine. But I really want to do more character spotlights very soon. I also want to do a Meet the Artist. I haven't done those yet, I think, ever. I don't remember doing that ever. I may have, but that was when if I did, it was a long time ago, and I don't recall. Anyways, we're almost at the end of the video, and I just wanna thank you very much. I'm very happy for the support, and I'm very happy that you guys seem to, or you folks seem to enjoy my video content, and that you seem to enjoy hearing about my characters and about the way I work. And I'm very, very happy about the feedback, like any feedback that you give me. And yeah, down in the description below, you can find my social media platforms, and you can also find links where you can read my webcomic if you like. And with that, I say thank you very much for watching, and I see you next time. And until I see you, please do something that makes you happy. Bye!